Erica Lynn Speaks podcast is a place where you can grow beyond your limitations and make an impact on the world. I am Erica Lynn. I will teach you how to take the restraints off of you, begin to live free, and become unstoppable. Go to ericalynnspeaks.com.
I say Erica Lynn Speaks. Erica Lynn Speaks.
Hello. This is your girl, Erica Lynn, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Y'all know here at Erica Lynn Speaks podcast, we like to play big or go home, right? If you are ready to grow to your next level and ready to do all the things that you've put inside your head and take them out of your head and take action into walking into your dreams and into your victories, into your visions, then you're right here at the right place at the right time on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. Well, every week I have been bringing on wonderful guests to share their stories, their victories, their visions, their wins, their losses. And so they are totally transparent here on this podcast. So before I bring in my next guest, I want you guys to do me a favor. I want you to share this podcast with everybody you know. Tag them, share them, send it to them in an email, whatever it is you got to do, but get them in this podcast today. Because we have so many entrepreneurs who are still working a 9-to-5, who are still doing something in their life that they don't want to do, but they want to fully become an entrepreneur, but they don't know how to do. They know what they want to do. They have the vision and the dream as to how big they want it to be or where they want to go, but they don't know how they want to do it. So my next guest, she retired at age 41 to be a caregiver. Man, that's still young and beautiful and flawless. Ooh, let me tell you what I was doing at 41. No, y'all don't want to know that. But anyway, taking lessons learned from that, plus a 21-year career in law enforcement and in civil rights advocacy. Tisha Hammond took that leap in April 2018 and found joy in working for herself for the first time. How many of you guys want to work for yourself and not work for somebody else? I don't know about y'all, but I'm right on board. So I'm not going to go into a long introduction because I want the small business cheerleader to tell you for herself how she got down for herself and not for somebody else. So without further ado, put your hands together and let's welcome Tisha Hammond to the stage. Hello, Miss Tisha. How are you?
I am blessed, woo woo, and happy to be here.
I love that. Yes, I'm so excited that you've come on the podcast today. See, first of all, what you don't know, before we even met, I totally fangirled over you. I was like, oh my God, I'm fangirling because I just saw the things that I wanted to accomplish in life. And when I was just starting out, I was like, man, I want to be where she's at one day. And so when I got to that point where I felt comfortable enough, I said, let me reach out to her because I want to totally meet her.
Thank you, dear. I appreciate the jewels you've added in my crown by telling me that. I appreciate the feedback. And you know what? You are welcome in this space. And I'm so glad that you have brought me into your space and we can share one another in our community. So thank you for allowing me to be here today and for inviting my global Pep Squad to join in.
Yes, they're in here. So we got to bring them all in when we get started. Who we got? We got Trina. Greeting, Trina. How are you? We got KGC. Hello, Mary Wells. And Mary says, say that again, Erica. Right. That's awesome. And then Trina says, hello, Mary. Okay, that's right. Start a communication. I mean, you got the chat box going crazy. You can bring your Pep Squad anytime.
We go hard for one another. And that's what happens when you form community. So I just got to say real quickly, please allow me. Mary Wells is the captain of the Global Pep Squad. Trina Poole did the voiceover to the intro for my show, Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond. And we are the Sisterhood Trinity. We go everywhere together. We cheer on one another. And there wouldn't be a Pep Squad without those two queens.
Yes, that's wonderful. Well, you ladies are welcome. I Thank you all for being part of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. I am so excited that you're here today. I mean, to share your story, to share how you got started, because I've been bragging all about this woman, this beautiful, fantastic piece of artwork that worked in law enforcement for 21 years. Now, you know, somebody say I'd have been in law enforcement for 21 years, that I'm going to retire and I'm going to give me a pension. I'm going to die at my desk. And you said, that's not going to be me. So tell us a little bit about your story of why you decided that was not going to be you.
Allow me to say that is true. A lot of people die on duty in law enforcement, and not because they've been killed, but they literally don't stop working and work themselves to death. What happened for me was it became clear to me a few years before I retired. I had an exit strategy. My husband and I had made some really smart decisions around the way that we had our relationships with money. We changed our relationship with money, knowing that I wanted to work for myself one day. We didn't know the day, but we knew it was one day. And we worked collaboratively to do that with a team to make that dream possible. The dream kind of quickened, got here faster than I might have realized, because I needed to become a caregiver earlier than I realized I might have to be. And that was for my mother and her sister. My mom was a caregiver to her sister, but my mom was losing her hair. My mom was getting sick and being a caregiver. And as a fairly young, healthy daughter, I could not sit back and do nothing. So family is the priority, right?
Yes.
Family is the priority. And my husband and I had planned and saved and just been really smart about things over the early part of our marriage. So we were in a good spot. Also, just the word of God came to me through a friend, Denise Cochran, and she reminded me, Tisha, you got to turn the knob. And she said that one day, and it manifested itself in a different year. And Erica, I remember the day that I called my supervisor and I said, today is my last day. You have been good to me and I have been excellent to you. And I have to turn the knob. I have to close this door so the Lord will allow another door to open. I got to close this chapter so I can start penning another chapter. And my supervisor was a woman of God, and we sat and we cried on the phone, and she understood exactly what I was saying. And I didn't leave on bad terms. I left on my terms. And that's God. That's God. To be able to leave a career at the age of 41 and not miss a meal, not change our lifestyle. That's Jesus.
Yes.
Yeah. So the company is named in honor of the ascent, taking people from their launch pad to their ascent.
Yeah.
And it's been a ride.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so wonderful that you shared that part of your story, because the last couple of weeks I've had some financial experts on the podcast. Like last week I had Dexter B. Jenkins, and he's a financial guru, and he was taking people through the steps of financial wealth and wealth building and all of that. And so the things that he talked about is the things that you and your husband actually did by taking the step. And you know what y'all could have been doing in the early part of your marriage? Y'all could have been traveling around the world, spending tons of money, buying mink coats, lavish cars. And then when it was time for you to retire to take care of your family, it's like, look, honey, we can't survive on one income. We don't have a savings. So you guys did the smart thing first so that you can live the great life later.
It truly helps to have a very supportive husband and a support system at home. I mean, since I have launched into business, my husband has started a business. Since I wrote a international best-selling book, my mom published a book. Our children have registered businesses. It's exactly what the vision really came to fruition.
Yes.
And this going into business was not just to benefit me. I created this business, of course, because I want to improve my family and our standing up. It's really, though, creating a foundation for our legacy, for our grandchildren's grandchildren that we won't meet.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah,
Communities in the world.
I think that is really great because you thought about more than just the now and more
Yeah.
than just yourselves. You thought about your offsprings and their offsprings. And so, because what you're building, as we discussed before, is something that it's a business that other people can take over and run one day, just in case you're not here anymore. And we don't want you to go anywhere, no one knows. But
Okay.
yeah,
Well, I appreciate that. And at the same time, while I am here, I don't want to have to be in my business every day. So
yeah,
I've set up a business that can run automatically, that is systematic, that is operated by automation and systems, and you still get this real life human touch. Because what if, Ken and I want to be on the beach in Hawaii one day? I don't want to have to put up an out of office sign. No, my business can keep going and I can still be meeting the needs of others and being the solution to their pain points, and it be done in an automated way, seamless, frictionless. And they still get the very best of our service offerings, and we are over there in Waikiki.
yes. So that sounds like a peak, would you say? Being over in
Oh,
Waukee.
that's peak performance right there.
So I want to talk about some of the biggest peaks and valleys of entrepreneurship that you have experienced and what others might have to look out for to be aware of in their role of in their journey in entrepreneurship.
Where do you want to start? You want to go high, or you want me to take you low first?
We could go high. Well, we can start low and let's go high. There you go.
Okay. So if we talk about the plateau, let's just go ground level first.
Okay.
If we talk about the plateau, for me, the plateau where some people call that being stuck, I don't feel stuck. I've not really experienced that sensation. And it's probably because of my perspective. My perspective doesn't have a tendency to see stuck. I have a tendency to see resting place. Okay, let me sit down. Let me reevaluate this, the situation. Let me maybe reboot, retool. This is a time that I need to, maybe work on the business and not in the business. So we have plateaus, and I appreciate plateaus.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go underground. Let's go to the valley. Let's go a little deeper. Let's go to where it hurts, right? So I am the small business cheerleader, which implies that I'm peppy and cheerful all the time, and I am. Until those valleys come, then I have less cheer. I have less to be peppy about on the surface, and then faith really has to carry me from there, and my team has to step up, and I have to reflect. So if we start at the valley, then for me, what I've experienced and what I've seen in at least the networks that I've communicated in, valleys are typically for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, micro businesses, when cash isn't flowing in automatically. When you got to knock on doors, when you got to make cold calls, when you got to send out emails that you don't really want to send out, when you don't have a team of people surrounding you. So when cash isn't coming in on repeat in an automated way, like a paycheck would every 2 weeks into direct deposit, that's a valley. When you don't have someone else's income to depend on, you don't have the security or luxury of a paycheck every 2 weeks to depend on. It's you got to depend on to get cash moving in. You experience valleys when it doesn't happen, right? So for me, when cash wasn't flowing in an automatic way, when there were long pauses or gaps in between, one client's payment to another client's payment, when I would say, hey, you have 3 days to pay this invoice, and it took 27 days for a person to pay the invoice. Just because someone likes me doesn't mean they pay the invoice when the due date comes. When things aren't functioning smoothly, quickly, in a luxurious kind of way, meaning that money is coming in regularly, that's a valley. And that's undeniable. It takes money to live. It takes money to be able to feed yourself and someone that you love, to be able to put a roof over your head and have security and shelter for the people that you love surrounding you. So biggest valley that I can think of immediately is the absence of cash flow. I call it cash slow.
Yeah.
Cash flow. And I don't want to be cash flow. I don't want my business to be cash flow. And I have employees that are depending on our success, our joint success, and we've all defined success differently, but cash flow is a valley.
Yeah, yeah. And that valley is something that we all deal with entrepreneurship. And I remember when I got probably my second client, and it was like $500 a month. Well, the total, you either pay in full or you pay, $500 a month. And I remember her coming to one of her sessions, and all I could think about, I did what I needed to do to deliver, but all I could think about was, is she going to pay her $500? Because I really need this money. I really need to pay these business bills. So please, I hope that she pay the money. I learned two things from that experience. I started listening to Lisa Nichols after that. And Lisa Nichols says, do not allow money to be a hard conversation. If you talk about the money up front and get it out of the way, then you got it out of the way. So don't allow money to be a difficult conversation. So from that, I started saying, along with sending the invoices or whatever prior, hey, before we even start your session, will you be paying your balance today? And then that gives them the opportunity to say, well, no, I can't pay today, but I'll give you $100 or I'll pay you a payment plan. But at least I know, and that won't interrupt our session. And so I learned, like, dang, entrepreneurship is not going to be what I thought it was going to be.
Amen. Can I give a converse to that?
Yes.
So on the other side of that is building up to telling people what your price is in the first place and not being coy or shy about it. Yeah. I remember 2017, 2018, 2019. I don't remember the time exactly, but somewhere in that, I met Mimi Brown. At that time, she was the director of a local speakers bureau. And she gave me some of the best advice. I wish I would have met her early in my business. She said, Tisha, when the conversation is warmed up, that means you've talked to somebody 2-3 times now. They know what you do.
Yeah.
And they ask you, so tell me more about what you're doing, or, if they bring up the conversation about cost or expenses or fees. She said, look, say your price and shut up. Don't justify it. Don't rationalize it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Don't talk yourself lower. Say your price and shut up. And I was like, I'm going to try it. I'll let you know. And the very next day, someone contacted me. We had 2 conversations before. She was what you call right. She was ready to have a conversation about, are we really going to work together? She asked me what my price was. I said it, and it took, I'm a talker. I had to do this. Thankfully, it was on the phone. I had to do like this and like throw the key away. I said my price. I shut up and I listened for my value in her response. And you know what she replied with, Erica?
Wow.
She replied with wanting the highest dollar amount package that I offered at that time.
Yeah.
And I put the phone on mute. And I did a praise dance in my office as quickly as I could, show God some praise. And I came off mute and I said, okay, when can we schedule this? And we got it on schedule. I hung that phone up and I cried, just like tears of joy. Like, was it always this easy? Could it have been this easy for years and I didn't do it?
Yes. I had that same one too, because I was still learning. And everybody know I work with Pam Perry, right? And so after I built everything up and got it all together, she was launching one of her programs. And I went into her webinar and she did the webinar. And at the end, she allowed everybody to come, and ask questions. And so they said, how much is the program? And she says, at that time, she was like $99. And I learned so much from her response, because she said she did what you said. She said it and she shut up. But the facial expression was like so clear, as if, like, what else you want? Like, you want me to give it to you for free? You know what I mean? Without saying it. And so I was like, okay. And that was something that helped with my confidence as well. And so now I don't have a problem with telling people that what I charge. And even when people book me as a speaker, you know, they want to charge you pay you $100, Miss Tisha, you know, they want, can you come and speak for 1,000 people at the school? And we'll give you $150.99. No, that won't be me that'll be speaking at your event.
I feel you. I have learned some creative ways from friends in the business about how to negotiate. You know, I welcome opportunities to speak and to be heard and to be seen in places, and I'm thankful when people want to approach me with that. I have learned some responses to share. You know, when it doesn't meet my needs necessarily, but I believe that there's a path to yes, and that's what I tell people. I say my price, and I say there's a path to yes.
Yes.
It's there. You just got to come to it.
Absolutely, because I am understanding, because everybody can meet those needs, and so I'm not willing to work with someone, but don't say you're gonna give me $100 like and expect me to speak for 2 hours, like you know what I mean, like if you still want me to speak, like we got to decrease that down to something, but not an hour. You know what I mean? Because perhaps, you know, and then I have to be honest. I had someone call me a couple weeks ago. I had spoke at Mary Grove College, and they didn't have a large budget. And I told her, I said, she caught me on a good day. I said, I'm in the blessing business. I'm going to bless you, because what she was doing the event for, to raise money for the kids. And I said, I'm in the blessing business. I'm going to bless you. But what happened was, when I got there, before I even set up, the gentleman introduced himself, and he says, I'm the president of the organization. And he was like, I'd like to invite you to speak at several events we have going on this summer. So sometimes being able to be in a blessing business turns out to be a great blessing for yourself as well.
It's true. And when you do things with a heart to serve others,
yes,
my goodness, all of these rewards flow in. It may not be the day you want it, but it'll come at the time you need it. You know?
Yes. Look, and
I'm really looking forward to talking about the peak. I got an acronym, y'all, that I think is going to be very relatable. Erica, I cannot tell if this is on my end, but certainly I'm enjoying the conversation, and this might be a good time for the audience to ask some questions. I see you out there, Mary Wells and Trina Poole. I see you, Sonia.
okay.
Did you get it?
So
She's still on.
is she still talking?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I
Can you see me?
No. I see your dot now.
Okay. You can see me now?
Oh, there we go. Your audio is
Okay.
feeding through, but not your video.
Okay. Sorry, Tisha. We had a technical difficulty. I'm coming right back. Give me 1 second.
No worries. We are here. The conversation is going forward, and people will hopefully be adding comments to the chats. Hopefully, still sharing the videos, asking questions about, you know, what is it that Erica Lynn does and speaks about? What does Tisha Hammond speak about? Okay.
I love it. My son is over here. He girl crushed it too. Get off my gas.
We got you back. We got you back. We missed you. Good to see you.
She's like, I got this acronym that I just want to tell y'all about. Let me talk to the crowd, you know.
I am ready.
Improv.
Listen, that's what I love about the Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. You get to be yourself, totally be transparent. And this is kudos to their system, because when we were talking, I forgot to put the charger into my laptop, and it was like, you got 10%. So I'm trying to text him to come behind the camera, and before I can even get the text out, my laptop went dead. But it's kudos to the system because it didn't kick you out. You got to still do your thing. So I'm gonna have to send them after after the show is over, ask you for a thumbs up. So they get a thumbs up for me. That's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
And, I love it. Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for. I love it. Look, I don't get embarrassed anymore. I get so totally comfortable with camera because it's all about showing who you are, what you do, and being transparent to your audience. Because if you're not transparent, they're not going to want to work with some fake person. They want to work with the person that they see. You know what I mean? They feel like when they come off the camera that they know who Tisha Hammond is through everything that you do. Is that correct?
Amen. Amen.
Yes. So I want to know a little bit about what was the path of the global building of the Pep Squad, because we talk about the business cheerleader and all of this wonderful Pep Squad that you got going on. I mean, I'm telling you, listen, when I seen the Pep Squad come and comment the way they did, I said, now I understand how when somebody go against Beyonce, how her team be like, get them. Man, you got a wonderful Pep Squad. How did you build such a great Pep Squad?
God, let me give all the glory to God for connecting me and matching me to people when I needed them, when they needed me. And we come, let me tell you, this some fired up individuals around the globe.
Mm-hmm.
But if we start here in the US, because it is a global Pep Squad.
Okay.
Here, the US is home. And so a few years ago, I was the director of member services for the National Association of Women Business Owners, Greater Detroit Chapter. And it was really there where I honed in on skills of serving others. Nonprofit work is all about serving others, making sure someone else's needs are met before my own, living up to a mission, carrying it out, and showing care for the duties of that organization and what we were about. And watching the membership grow and hearing people's feedback that they joined because so-and-so asked them to or invited them. I know why I joined organization is typically because I've been invited by someone that I respect, that I know, like, and trust.
Yes.
And so it really started there in NABO, Greater Detroit Chapter, being surrounded by 100 plus queens, as I call us, right? And building true, genuine relationships where I would trust them with my family, with my children, with, being confidants, with my vulnerabilities. And then I got super comfortable on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Now, LinkedIn, y'all, is my jam. So I am trying to learn to embrace and like Facebook. I'm trying, and I will one day.
Okay.
Thank God for teams of people that help me be engaging there. Instagram is great. Twitter is great. LinkedIn is my jam. Bringing LinkedIn to real life is how Mary Wells and I got connected, how Trina Poole and I got connected, and how others in the Global Pep Squad got to know one another. And then creating a community where we could meet outside of LinkedIn. So for me, that's Apricot Rocket, where we can join together. Because let me tell you guys one thing. If LinkedIn shuts down, where the majority of my connections are, I don't have everybody's contact information. LinkedIn has all their contact information, right? I haven't naturally recorded it. I can't just take people's emails and add them on my email list. So you create communities where you can have contact information and send people thanks and correspond by text and things like that. And video and voice, though, regular video and voice messaging, particularly on LinkedIn, is what helped shape this community and allow it to grow across 6 continents. And when I say that we are actively looking for a viewer or a reader of this book, or a client in Antarctica, we are going to find that person, because we will be able to say we are on all 7 continents in the very near future. And that takes people power.
Yeah.
It takes people's energy and desire to want to be connected and to promote one another either above themselves or at the same time they're promoting their own businesses.
Yeah. Now, I think that is phenomenal because that is how I found you on LinkedIn. And no shade to none of the other social media, right? Because we are on all the social medias watching this podcast. But when I think about LinkedIn, I think about these people are serious. They are really serious about what they do and how they do it. And if I reach out to them and ask them to be on their show or them to be on my show, it's a real deal. They're not like faking or playing, because it's like a waste of time to get on LinkedIn and play, because people going to call you out real quick. They're going to learn that you are not who you are. Your business is not what it is. And I don't know if they're going to put you on blast on LinkedIn, but a real entrepreneur, a real business person, they know another real business person just by, hey, like you said, your systems. You know, I get so many compliments on the automation setup of my systems, and how when they sign up for something, they're getting all these emails and they're like, wow, but that's because of the systems. So if you think enough about your business, then you think enough about investing in your systems and your software. And just like you think about enough of going after such a wonderful Pep Squad, right? And pouring into your Pep Squad the way that you do.
Thank you. Can I give a shout out to Caleb Wells? He is a 9-year-old entrepreneur. He just launched a t-shirt line. It's called Be Blessed. And he is Mary Wells' young king and doing great things. And I see that Mary Wells asked a question. May I answer that?
Yeah, we're
on the stream.
She asked a question.
Share the last time you blessed someone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the modest road here. I don't know. I would like somebody to answer that question for me. What I will say, though, is the way that in general I try to be a blessing to others is to, when you see that someone has the capacity to carry out what they're talking about doing, but they may not have the confidence, then I try to pour on the confidence. And it's not just rah, rah. Yes, I am the small business cheerleader. I am often very cheerful and happy and peppy and woo woo. But when you try to encourage someone's confidence, that comes with teaching. That comes with having teachable moments and just opportunities to invest wisdom, things that I have learned, things that people have taught me, things that I've witnessed, to just invest wisdom in time and knowledge into people. Those things should not be kept a secret. So if you have had an opportunity come across your table, it may not be for you, but you know it could bless somebody else, pass that thing along. Yes. Tell this person they have the skill set to do it, and then help them get into that opportunity. Advocate for them, sponsor them, mention their names in rooms full of opportunities. That is how I generally go about trying to be a blessing to people.
Yeah. And I noticed when we first met, and I would listen to you say that all the time, hey, Erica Lynn, I'm going to drop your name in rooms. And I got to thinking about it. I said, that is so phenomenal, because my name is in rooms that I've never even been in. But since my name is in there, then technically I've been in the room. And so that is a blessing to be able to share someone else's information, make a connection with them and someone else, because that shows me that you're not selfish. That shows me that you're really working towards building a community, because a selfish person can't build a community, right?
Or it might not be stable. It might be an unstable, long-suffering community, but that's not what we want to do here. We want to create opportunities for the masses. We want to impact communities around the world. Erica, that's why I have a map behind here. I don't have this is my vision board. It doesn't have pictures on it or mansions or cars or fancy clothes. I'm beyond that. I'm trying to impact the world with a message that I believe God gave me. And that's that we can influence our own personal economies through entrepreneurship and small business development. I have offerings and services to make those things happen. In the meanwhile, in between all of those client consultations and activities, I am trying to tell the world we can do this together. We have the resources to stay on the peak of entrepreneurship long enough when we combine our resources. Yeah. So if I might just add, my business, which is the Ascent Small Business Promotion LLC, It was founded on the principles of Kwanzaa because I believe in us. I believe in our community. I believe in our richness, in our wealth, in our resources. And I know I can't do great business by myself.
Yes, absolutely.
No,
Absolutely.
really.
Absolutely. I'm telling you, because before I got into this realm, I had my set of friends, but that was it. I didn't have relationships really outside of that. And then when I started building a community and started meeting women such as yourself and such as Pam and all the guests on the show, I was just like, oh, I love this. Like because I get an opportunity to go to y'all events and sit in the audience, and I just be like, oh, like a big kid. I'm so excited. So I totally can't wait for the world to open up, because I know you coming with an event, or I know we're gonna partner on an event, whatever comes back.
Like it.
I'm excited. So let's see what some of our viewers are saying. What did you had said to tell somebody to think of something that you did good. So Mary said, that's great. I'll try to answer this in the morning through HNP. What does that mean? What is HNP?
HNP is the Happy Neighborhood Project. This is the Happy Neighborhood Project I have been a co-host of for, I don't know, approximately 15, maybe 16 months. It was founded by the Chief Happiness Officer, Edwin Adebury. And that's the organization, that's the global movement that made my book an international best-selling book. So being involved in networks that start small, but you can grow from 600 to 70,000 people, and being a co-host where I'm front and center every week, just taking that leadership role and then encouraging others to be co-hosts so they get those opportunities along with me, has made a phenomenal difference in my business, in my business model.
Wow, that's great. That's really great. And then Trina says, yes, Tisha poured out of the confidence to me. She has shared so much with me, and I appreciate her wisdom and love. Yes, you look like a wise woman. You don't even have gray hair.
Oh, they're in there. Who is it? I think it's Trina that has a name for gray hair. It's cute. They're in there.
They're in there. Yes. And so I'm just excited. And I appreciate all of your guests for coming here today and being a part of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. So what we do on the podcast, you tell everybody where they can reach you, how they can connect with you. And then after that, I want you to leave them with a nugget, a walk away. So when they walk away, they say, Tisha, Hammond gave me this nugget. I'm going to get on it right away, and it's going to make an impact in some way in their business.
All right. Well, I'm going to get that ready right here.
Okay.
I'll find a nugget. And then what would you like me to share first? The contact information?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I could really give two Linktree addresses, and I'll tell you what, I am not married to my website. I believe that there are many ways to find me and my solutions. The first one is my Linktree. So that's Linktree/Tisha Hammond. The second is Linktree/Success Simplified. Now that's because I believe that happy entrepreneurs do three things, Erica. We eliminate, we delegate, and we outsource. And we don't have no shame in doing it. This is where teamwork comes in. I mentioned I wanted to say an acronym early on. And it's about going to the ATM every day. And the ATM for me is automate, talent, and monetize. And that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show. But a nugget of information, right? So I'm going to go straight to the book, which is the Daily Devotional for Entrepreneurs, Your Season to Grow. The foreword was penned by Dennis Kimbrough, who wrote Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice. Thank you for putting that up on the screen.
Oh, you're welcome.
So let's find a nugget. I'll try to just land on one and pray that this is what the Lord wants me to share. So this is a daily devotional. So this happens to be week 2 on a Tuesday. Here's a seed, little nugget, right? Fear is the result of my rebellion against God. If I am for him, I should have nothing to fear. And then it goes on to say, reject fear by taking risks that are blended with massive, focused actions. Okay. And then there's a prayer that comes along with it. It's real quick. It says, Father, I've heard people say that fear is normal. Teach me to look fear in the eye and defy it daily. Help me to leave my comfort zone and follow where you lead me. And so the tip for entrepreneurs and business owners is people want to pick our brains all the time. And this is where I send them to have brains picked. If you want to pick someone's brain for free, then get yourself a mentor at www.score.org. That is no cost mentorship to you. If you want the expertise of a consultant, of a small business development officer, if someone like Erica Lynn or Tisha Hammond, then please respect our craft and understand that we have a fee that's attached to our work. This is how we feed family. This is how we bless communities. And score.org is fabulous for no cost mentoring.
Yes. Because I have a girlfriend that used to work with Score, work directly with Score, and she actually sometimes teach some of the training in my academy. And then I have her writing some of the things that go in the One Step Beyond You Academy. However, I don't ask her to do it for free. And so even though she worked for Score, her expertise is worth something. And I try to gift her with things. And then when she send me the bill, that I'm going to pay the bill. But when you respect somebody and you respect their expertise, then you respect them enough to say, well, let me give you something. Let me help you with something. You know, even if you can't afford their top line budget, say, hey, Tisha, I can't really afford to pay you $3,000, but would you take $1,000? You know, something, you know, instead of just asking for the information for free. And as you said, Tisha gave you guys the resource right there. Go to Score. What is it? Score.org?
Score.org. Score.org.
That's right. But if you want Tisha's brain, you go to her link. Go right to her link tree right there. I got two of them for y'all. Let me give y'all another one. You can go to the link tree. So I hope y'all writing this down, but it will be in the replay. But I got it all together for you. You're welcome. And thank you so much. I'm going to put our devotional back up, you guys. So go and get to the daily devotional. And where can I find the devotional?
This sold in at least 17 major retailers. It's sold in Walmart, in Target. It's sold here in Detroit in Lighthouse Christian bookstores and the Underground Railroad Reading Station. You can find it on bookshop.org. Just all international large booksellers will carry it. And of course, you can purchase it at tishahammond.com.
That's right. You can go to, I got to put that up. Did I put that up? I got to put that up.
Thank you.
Look, y'all totally seen Erica Lynn fangirl out. That's because I totally respect Tisha, and from where she was starting out to where she is now. And what y'all don't know, we talked about how long have you been in business, Tisha?
6 years.
6 years. 6 years. So y'all, let's give that a woo, 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 woo.
Yes, woo, woo. God is good. God is just Jesus.
Yeah, look, we got a couple of them in the comment section. There you go, Mary. Woo, woo. But yes, because everybody know your first to your fifth year is the hardest time in business. That's when you will know if you're doing the right thing, if you want to stay in business, if you want to quit business. Is you in your calling? Like, you just have so many thoughts, things that go right and things that go wrong. And when you make it to your 6th year, you just got tough skin, and great, by the grace of God, you're going upward and going to continue to go upward. But what's most important is if something just happened to go wrong, you know what to do to fix it, because you didn't experience something on another level in your first 5 years. So shout out to you. Congratulations for being 6 years in business and building the Pep Squad. Y'all, she got a Pep Squad. Tisha Hammond Pep Squad.
Cheers to them.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers to the Pep Squad. Thank you. Thank you for your expertise. I appreciate being here.
You welcome. And you humble, beautiful and humble, y'all. Look, you even have my son over here drooling from the mouth. She's married, Q. She's married.
5 children and 7 grandchildren, happily.
Look, he in the background laughing and watching the show. He's 26 years old. And so when he came back to America, because when he left, I wasn't doing it on this level. And so now that he comes back, he gets to see all these wonderful people that I work with. He's like, dang. But most importantly, and I know you're doing the same thing, your children are learning how to be entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And can I just say this real quick?
Yes.
I learned this from Colette Portis. She owns Red Development Group out in Texas. My children are my staff. And yeah, it's because it's a family business. I also have interns, by the way. Yes, it is because it's and I pay my interns because they are employees in the state of Michigan. So please pay your interns. But also because there are, the IRS allows you to write off the wages of your minor children under the age of 18. And I don't know that enough business owners really take advantage of that opportunity in their expenses and in their budget. So as you're building a team and you want to encourage that entrepreneurial skill in your children, consider bringing them on your team, particularly as W-2 income employees, is been a game changer. I also recruit interns from local community, from Wayne State University, other colleges around the world, and they even work in an organization that has apprentices in Africa throughout, a few African nations. And that's really cool to see people who have less technology and resources than we do get work done in very short amount of time. It's just dedication. It's fast and it's systematic.
Yeah.
Systematic.
Yeah, we are the same. My staff is in all different countries, all over. I have a whole lot of people, me and my kids, they work for me. And when they first started working for me, I was like, I didn't know that was like the norm, but it was the norm for me. And then when I realized it just works, I was like, wow. So then I started teaching my clients, you can do the same. And then one day when your kids go off to college or go wherever, you have a system. And, one of the things that I did, I had them create a plan book, for their department, because that's their department that they're running, so that when someone comes and replaces them, they have something that they can follow as well. So, yeah.
Can I give one more tip, please?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If you have, so this is by way of employee benefits. I believe it's very difficult to grow a business if you don't have employees in a team and independent contractors, W-2 employees. But if you bring your children on staff in particular, and you offer them the employee benefit of tuition assistance, you're not paying their tuition, your business is paying their tuition. And great things come with those kind of opportunities. So invest in your children through your business. Encourage them to work for those things that they want to accomplish as they are learning their independence, and allow your business to be the vehicle that helps you do that for them.
Absolutely. Now that was a great tip. See, y'all, she just taught y'all something. Every week on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast, you guys are learning something. I think I might have to start charging. No.
I would pay for admission.
Thank you, Tisha.
Great job.
Thank you. It's been such a pleasure having you on the podcast, and I really, really appreciate you. You're welcome to stick around. I'm just going to end the show, and then it's Friday. My viewers know, what do I do every other Friday? It's time to go get my nails done. Man, I was holding on to these suckers by the wing and a prayer this week. But yes, it was my pleasure. You have to come back on the show when I know you always got something new coming out, or you want to introduce somebody, or you want to bring one of your Pep Squad along with you. We can bring them on the podcast too, because I know you got everybody in your lineage. You connected to some of everybody, and if you want to share some of your connections, I'm open to that. Okay?
You got it. I will be making that ask. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. And so God bless you. And I will see you on the next time you're here, but I'm coming over to your live. Did you tell them about your live? You do your live on LinkedIn. So every day at 11, right?
Almost. So thank you. Pep Talk Live with Tisha Hammond is a show that's powered by Dell Technologies and Career Mastered Magazine. We broadcast typically Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Sometimes we try to be a blessing to the community and come with Mondays and Thursdays too. It's typically around 11 a.m. Eastern time. And I think we're about a bit over 160 episodes. I stopped keeping count, but our 1-year anniversary is June 11th. I'll have a very special show. And yes, we're on LinkedIn Live. We're on Facebook at Tisha Hammond, on Facebook at the Small Business Cheerleader. And we stream live on YouTube. My channel's name is Tisha Hammond, the Small Business Cheerleader Pep Talk. It's very hard to miss me.
That's right.
You can find it.
That's right. Because when I was in your show, I think you were at show number 50, or it was some great number that it was on. And so I really, really enjoyed that. But thank you so much again for being a guest on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. And you got them all saying congratulations. And even my team, Sonya, she in there like, woo, woo. Look, Marva, she's like, woo, woo, woo. That's right, Marva. I appreciate my people for showing up every week, because without them, I wouldn't be here. I enjoy bringing in the value, and you are such a valuable player in the game, sister girl. God bless you.
Thank you, Queen.
Yes, you guys, this was just a wonderful episode. I hope you guys got a lot of information out of today. Now, y'all know how to work with your kids, how to pay the tuition, how to put them on tuition, how to write them off on the test. You done learned a lot. See, I didn't even share that with you. And she done taught me something, even though I do it anyway, but I missed some of the perks. So thank you, Tisha, for sharing the perks. You guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's podcast, because not only did you learn something, but you understand that in order to be an entrepreneur, that there are going to be peaks and there are going to be valleys. But if you work your way through them, and I always say, if you learn when you was at your valley, when you were at your lowest point, if you learn the lessons that you had to learn, or whatever it is God was trying to show you when you was at that valley, when you go up to your peak, you're going to not make those same mistakes again. And if that circumstance or situation happened again, you know what to do and what not to do in order for you not to hit a valley so low, right? And most importantly, surrounding yourself with a Pep Squad. Man, I gotta get me an Erica Lynn Pep Squad. What is it? I need me an Erica Lynn Speak, that we call it. Mary and who your other Mary and Trina, y'all want to be on the Erica Lynn Speak? I love it. I love it. I love it. Y'all, I'm just silly. I like to have a great time, but I enjoy doing this podcast every week, because it gives me something to look forward to, and it gives me an opportunity to share greatness with everyone, because that way you're not just saying Erica Lynn said it. Erica Lynn, I brought back up. See, y'all, I come prepared. I bring back up. Look, so that somebody else can share some insight, because if I can't reach you, then Tisha is going to reach you, or Dexter is going to reach somebody that I brought on this podcast, may be the voice that you needed to hear to help you go to your next level, to grow to your next level. So guess what? That's my time. Y'all know I got to go get my nails done so I can be cute when I'm on the beach tomorrow. No. Anyway, I'm going to stop being silly. But I love you guys. And just always remember to take one step beyond you. God bless you. I'll see you guys next Friday, live at 5 p.m. Eastern, every Friday on Erica Lynn Speaks podcast. And I'll see you soon.
Are you ready to become unstoppable? Be bold, live free, and walk in your fearlessness? Are you ready to be courageous? If you are ready to play big and make your mark in life, if you are ready to break free, it is time for you to realize your full purpose in life by allowing Erica Lynn to help you break free from your boundaries. Break free beyond your limitations. Elevate your power. Play big while moving into your biggest step forward in your life. To find out how, go to ericalynnspeaks.com and sign up for the One Step Beyond You signature program today.
This podcast was brought to you by ericalynnspeaks.com. Sign up for your free consultation today at ericalynnspeaks.com/work with me. And just remember, it only takes just one step beyond you.
Beyond you. I say, Erica.